Good morning, freedom fighters. Welcome to the Midweek show, where I've got two new guests on this week. One whose daughter's already been on, Wendy McDonald, who's standing for the council in Kilmarnock, and Leane Tervit, who's standing in Dunfermline Central for Alba. Well, we just decided to jump into this, ladies. It's not exactly the kind of things you've been doing before.
No, not at all. It's nothing I've done before. I've been an SNP member most of my adult life. I've voted SNP. Great believer in independence for a long, long time. And I was a Nicola fan right up until about 2 years ago now, coming up for 2 years. Lockdown afforded me the time to do a bit of reading and do a bit of digging and find out what was going on, because I just used to pay my sub and kind of sit in the background. I didn't have time for any activism or getting involved. I looked after my mum at the time, and I was working 12-hour shifts at the airport. So lockdown and furlough and shielding just gave me the time to read into things and a bit different. And everything that I read, I was just becoming increasingly depressed about the no direction, absolutely nothing done on independence. Given the state of things just now, independence is a priority. We're in an absolute state where the cost of living is an absolute disgrace. More people are going to be going into poverty. Our poverty statistics right now are horrific. It's just going to get worse. So that's I decided to do something about it. After 2 years of thinking about it and getting involved and reading up on it and speaking to other people, people just persuaded me just to stand. And since I decided that, I've just thrown everything against it, because I feel like the SNP are doing nothing, and I think our hope now for independence is Alba.
Wendy, what about you?
For me, this is really totally out my comfort zone. I'm really nervous about it, but I'm really excited about it. I'm excited about getting out there. Like you, Leane, there's nothing being done. I was an SNP supporter for a long time. I can't remember when I started going after them, but it's been a wee while now anyway. We have to start somewhere, don't we, in Alba? And to me, it's like bringing, although it's not about independence as working as a councillor, but to me it's about also learning the benefits what independence can bring to the community, and also helping the community around about. I always like helping people.
I think for what you were saying there, I know the date after you looked, Nicola. It was the 15th of March 2020. 1 week after I got my selfie taken there, that ended up in all the papers. It's like 3 days in the Alex Salmons trial. That was it, finished. I knew exactly what was happening. And I'd rather trust a rattlesnake. Anyway,
that was a total sickener, wasn't it? And a pure setup. So I obviously went after even more then. But it was just the letdown with independence all the time. It was just getting fed carrots and the folk buying it. And I started seeing through it. And for me, Alba was the shining light again that gave me hope that maybe we can do this. So, Alba for me is the best way to go.
Yeah, I was the same. It was. I started reading up on the Alex Salmons trial. Everybody was all the media was publishing the point of view of the women. There was only the prosecution. There was only one person really that was publishing the defence. So I was reading a lot of Craig Murray, and then I was reading a lot of Gordon Dangerfield, and then obviously watching the Inquiry. Me and my mum watched, we were shielding, but we had nothing better to do than cooking and baking, watching telly and reading. So we watched the Inquiry, and I don't know how many, I don't know, I don't recall, I don't remember. You know, it just was ringing total alarm bells. And I just seen them as trying to get him away from him, get him out because his priority was independence. Do you see the carrots being dangled again in the National? I mean, I had mince and patties today. I had carrots on my plate. I don't want any more Indy carrots. It just gets rolled out bang on time just before the elections. Here comes the independence talk from him again. After the election, that'll be it. It'll just be put into the long grass, and it's just a pattern. It's an absolute pattern, isn't it?
But folk are starting to waken up now, so they are.
Yeah, they are actually that as well.
More and more,
yeah.
More and more all the time. I think the more that we talk about it, the more that we put it on our social media, because I mean it's not publicised. The media are against us. They're not for us. That's why we're having to do these sort of things.
We didn't pay them £3 million. We didn't pay them £3 million.
Yeah, we didn't get paid $3 million. Yeah, the press got $3 million, didn't they? Yeah, but I just don't understand it. You're voting. It's the Scottish National Party, and they don't have independence at the heart. It's all GRA reform. It's nothing independent. It's just pushing through hate crimes and GRA reforms and divisive policies that are an absolute joke, to be honest.
Well, you're on that subject, GRA reform. Something happened in Parliament this week. And of course, it was last week that happened. And this week it was International Women's Day, which was apparently celebrated all over Scotland in various colours of green and purple.
Shona Robinson standing up speaking. It just floored me. Absolutely floored me what was coming out. It's lies. A lot of it's lies. Saying that nothing's going to change. I mean, they've removed the medical gatekeeping. So anybody can just say that they've lived like that for 3 months. Don't have to see a doctor. Don't have to have a medical diagnosis of dysphoria. They can just say they're a man and have access to all women's spaces, women's sports, women's refugees, women's prisons, women's everything. And I think everybody was we knew it was coming, but I think everybody was absolutely devastated when it did happen. I was glad to go to Alloa. I was at Alloa for a women's festival, following that later on in the week on the Saturday, and it was absolutely amazing. It was a bunch of like-minded, intelligent women, strong women who knew what they were talking about, knew what it meant for women and girls, knew what it meant for women and girls. It was a fabulous event to be at, and it was heartbreaking to hear some of the stories from these women, but it was also heartwarming to hear some of the stories as well, you know, and the fight's on. The fight is on.
Was you at the demo, Leanne?
No, I wasn't at the demo. I had earlier on in the week I had took my auntie to Cooper. There was an event on in Cooper where Shireen Benjamin was speaking and Eva Comrie, and all the way home she was ranting and raving about it and going nuts. And these are the people that we need to get to, because these are the people that are going out walking their dogs, speaking to people. You know, she's older, she uses the buses, but she speaks to everyone, and she's saying that there's not many people aware of it. We need to make people more aware. So I had went to that one at Cooper through the week, and then I had went to Alloa on the Saturday afternoon, and it was amazing. It was good to be there.
That's the good thing is standing for counsellor, because then when you're chatting the doors, you can actually talk to people and inform them of everything.
Yeah, we've been standing at primary schools.
That's the great thing about standing as counsellor. You can get to people and talk to them and tell them what's going on and inform them.
Yeah, we've been doing that. We've been standing outside the primary schools and handing them the women's ALBA leaflets. And having starting conversations about the GRA bill, and that's how to do it. It's speaking to people and making them aware. and making them aware of what's at risk for them. There's not. I say there's not enough. There's more people now that's aware than was before, but we really need to get that out there. And I think that will be opposed in the masses. You know, once people realise what it means for them, it's just a no-go. I don't understand why they've pursued this instead of independence, which is what we were electing them for. You know, they were elected for independence, and they're just not delivering.
A couple of weeks' time, I've got confidence, a real confidence at Hampden. Have you had a chance to see any of the resolutions that have been accepted?
I've had a look at a few. I've had a read through it. This will be the first conference I've ever been to. I've never had a chance to go to any conference, be it SNP or that earlier Alba one. As I say, right now, beforehand I was busy working full time and caring for my mum, and right now I'm on benefits, but there is no way I'm missing this conference. I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to see what happens and see what goes on and learn. This is a massive learning curve for me. I've never done anything like it before in my life. So yeah, it's another learning experience for me.
I was thinking about they don't have a lot of time to put all these motions through because it's only one day this time instead of two. So it's going to be a wee bit tight. Mind you, saying that, I mean, most of the business was dealt with in December or so. So, any idea what Ian Lawson's going to be doing next week? There was a rather cryptic message went up on Twitter.
I'll be looking out for it every morning. It's it's usually the first blog that I read now in the morning with a cuppa sitting out in the back garden. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he's got to say.
I haven't seen anything.
I'm still a wee bit upset that you mentioned all the folk that was at the salmon trial and you never seen any of my videos.
I think I found you later on, Dave. I'm not sure. I was more of a sort of. I used to just watch you guys. I started following you all, and I just used to listen, and I had to listen to so that I could understand and so that I could learn before I started getting involved in the conversation. And the time I started getting involved was the time that I was angry. So I was angry and I was speaking out. And that was my route to getting involved and starting to speak to people. It's mad. I mean, I was an engineer for a while, and then I was working at the airport for 14 years. Always been a kid. Well, I say always. It's been about 11, 12 years now. And now doing this, you know, it's like Wendy. I'm completely out of my comfort zone. I'm having to learn a lot. I'm having to read up a lot. I'm learning about campaigning. I've never campaigned before. So I'm learning a lot, but I'm learning from good people. I'm more like was activist side. So I was out doing things like skullduggery things, organising things, food banks, clothing, things like that. And then I feel as if there's nowhere else I can go. I mean, everybody I socialise with in social media, they're all yes. So, and there was nobody standing here for Command Up North. So I'd no other option, and it's to bring it to the street. And also I feel as if they're not doing nothing for nobody. They don't even answer emails. They don't get back to you. So I want to do something different, and I supported SNP like you as well, Dave. But now I'm going to do it for the party that I know will make an impact and will deliver independence. And if it's not them and somebody waves a magic wand or something like that, and it is the SNP that deliver it, it's only because Alba's kick up the arse to make them do it.
because the Greens, as we said earlier, they're doing nothing. It's just another thing for when elections come about.
I think
that's what came out today. I seen just half an hour before I came on here. I seen it on the national site. The Independence is getting lauded out again, and lo and behold, it's just before the elections. It happens every single time, and I don't know.
Usually happens after the election, so
I used to be gullible. I used to buy this, but not anymore. Not anymore. Not now that I've learned a lot more. And they're doing nothing to help people. The poverty is absolutely ridiculous. I see it everywhere. I see it now that I'm out leafleting. I see the states of the housing that they're in. I see the state of them. You know, it's unfair. And it's only going to get worse. And there's nothing there to help them. Nothing. At least I'm calling on to them to do stuff. You know, the 5-point poverty plan, the council tax fees, the 50% reduction in energy bills. Scotland produces energy, and yet we're paying through the absolute nose. Mine just went up 50%. Now we're in the house. My mum's in the house all day, and she's 74, so the house has to be kept warm. It's costing us a fortune, and I'm on benefits now. And my daughter's in education. We're struggling, and I can't imagine other people that don't have a sort of energy efficient home like we've got. I don't know how they're going to cope. I've seen doors that were badly fitting, letterboxes that are wide open, and windows that didn't look the best. And I fear for people. I really fear for people now.
Me too. I'm scared for them because I don't know how they're going to survive it.
See, I've got friends in council estates. I've got friends in some of the low income areas in Dunfermline. That's where I grew up, so that's where I've got friends and I've got family. And I don't know how some people are going to cope. I really don't. I don't.
And what the UK is sufficient in oil and gas as well.
It's not the UK. Basically, at the end of the day, here, Scotland supplies enough electricity for our own needs. And so basically, we could have all the light and heat that we wanted if we did it on renewables. No, okay, we wouldn't be selling it then, because there was a question of the other day on Twitter that it's like, well, how can you get it? Because somebody said they were going to start an energy company and didn't. Because if they had have done, they could have bought that. They could have bought that stuff from the producers and sold it here in Scotland at social rates, because the EU couldn't have stopped it anymore. And the thing is, and what's happened is, because England is desperately running gas and their shale stuff as well. We have to pay for it again, and not only that, but it comes in here, it's sent down south, it's sent back, and we've got to pay for the transport both ways as well. It's like, honestly, they're absolutely mental.
And also, we're the worst paying. England isn't so bad with their prices. We're the highest payers, and we're bloody producing it.
It's on social media. The price of petrol, I've seen places just along the road in Methil, which is quite a low income area as well. £1.99 for a litre of diesel, and I think £1.79.9 for petrol. That's going to hit everybody as well. That's going to hit your workers, your businesses, and your normal people. It's just another price rise. It's just everything is going up, and there's nothing to help. Nothing to help. The UK government giving us a forced loan that's to pay back, and that's just absolutely ridiculous. We need our independence now. We should be independent. I mean, how many times were we promised that we would not be taken out of Europe? I used to watch Westminster every day. Blackford standing up and saying that we wouldn't be taken out of Europe, and yet here we are. And it's all just gone to pot since then. Brexit cost us a lot of money, and now this is all costing us a lot of money. We should be independent. We should have been there by now. If we had a government that cared about its people, then we would have been independent by now.
Well, and there's Blackford. Sorry, Dave. There's Blackford also saying because of the Ukraine situation, we maybe, even though it's nothing to do with us, it's just another excuse, isn't it?
Basically, at the end of the day, they're going to cancel the next one because Nicholas broke a bloody nail.
They've got no intentions of delivering on independence, in my view. Alba's the only party that's prepared to go in there and do it. You know, it's the only party that recognises it as an absolute essential. It's an immediate priority to get our people. It's our people that are suffering.
There needs to be a massive change in the way things are happening. If we start with a new country, it has to be built on decent foundations. It has to be built on decency. It can't be built on not letting your members tell you what to do and to actually fiddle it. And I mean, it was actually fiddled. Angus Robertson did it at conference a couple of years ago. Somebody told me how he did it. And basically, at the end, they must have waited till they all went away for tea and then fired that motion through, because it would never have got through otherwise.
I'm really looking forward to conference. It being my first one ever, I'm really looking forward to being there all day with like-minded people. And there'll be, like Wendy, like myself and Wendy, there'll be candidates that are just putting themselves forward and thrown themselves into it because they're principled people, you know, like ourselves, where we want to make a difference. We want to help people. We want to advocate for people. We want to make good decisions in councils instead of wasting money. I want to get in there and I want to help, you know.
See, to be quite honest with you, Leanne, and this might be shocking to say, but see, if there wasn't a member Alba standing, I'll not tell you what I'd probably draw, but I would spoil my vote because I couldn't vote for them. I really couldn't vote for them.
I think a lot of people feel the same way. The things that I'm hearing at the doors and that, you know, I mean, even the unionist doors, they're asking me like about the person. It's not I'm leafleting for other people as well, so they're asking me about the person as well, and finding out what their abilities are and what they've done for the community and what kind of backgrounds and that they come from. So I think and I hope we were pleasantly happy after it. We're going to give it our all. We're going to put 100% into this, and I'm glad to be doing it now. You know, it was very, very daunting to start with, and I didn't know what I was letting myself in for. I still don't know the half of it, but I'm trying. I'm learning. I'm making some headway. So
you'll not go back in your word, Leanne. You'll not go back in your word about independence either, and anything else you say.
No, that's independence is just full on priority. We can't do anything without our hands. It's not just our hands that's tied behind our back. We're blindfolded and shackled to a wall as well. With Westminster, this isn't a union. It's not a union. And a union suggests that there's some sort of equality there, and there's no equality. It's completely undemocratic to be in a union where your vote doesn't count and where you're getting shafted by the folk in charge.
It's like Dave was saying earlier on about if you want to start an independent Scotland, you want to start it right. You don't want to start it in the same a party that has the same kind of principle as the Tories. At the end of the day, we don't want the Tories, and that is what it's like. So we want an honest party. We don't want ones that are hiding secrets and lying to us and money going missing and still being investigated. I don't know why people aren't angry about this. And the setup, obviously.
Yeah, we need transparency in everything we do, and we need ordinary people coming together in like citizens' assemblies and working it out as part of a team, and keeping everything in the open. And in independent Scotland, I'd hope that straight away would help our vulnerable people. We've got a lot of vulnerable people in Scotland who are suffering and struggling, and we need to pull them up. You know, what's the point of having a society and a country in that if half of your people are kept in the gutter, you know, they're kept down and they haven't got opportunities and they haven't got a way out.
That's how the control is, isn't it, by keeping us down?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it, exactly. I asked a question as well just last week of my Alba team in Fife about voting and asking what the differences is between voting in the high income areas and the low income areas, and it's low income areas that don't vote, you know, and it's them that could affect change, and it's them that policy that affects more. So I'm going to make it a mission, and right now there's not much time until polling day, but after that I'm going to make it my mission to try and spread word. I've got a lot of friends that are in these council estates and low income, and if I can persuade them and get talking to them and get them out to vote, then it'll hopefully make a little bit of a difference. Its policy affects them more than it affects anybody else, and yet they don't vote for change.
We've got twice as much time as we had for the last election to the time of the launch, and I think that's going to make a hell of a difference. And we'll probably have a logo at this one as well. But I just want to add a wee thing in here. For anyone that's pissed off about like the humble grafter, he might be in Edinburgh this weekend. So if anybody wants to go and protest, that's where he'll be. I'm going to get all sorts of bother for that. Sorry, Gary. Anyway.
Well, you've got to do what you have to do, haven't you?
Eh?
Our voices have to be heard, don't they?
Exactly.
I get sick of people saying, there was somebody the other night on Facebook and they were saying, oh, don't say that, the unionists will hear you. I don't give a toss who hears me. I'm going to say what I think is wrong. And what I'm saying is wrong is they've done nothing in the cause for independence. They're too busy with the GRA, get their finger out their backsides, do what you were elected for, because this gravy train is going to end very soon.
I see it as well. I see it on social media. Alba get the blame for splitting the Indy movement, and it's nothing to do with Alba. If independence was being fought for, there would be no need for Alba to be formed. But in black and white, SNP, Scottish Government, are doing absolutely nothing towards it. I've seen nothing worked on. I've seen nobody working on it. I've seen nothing new published. So we need somebody that's going to be going in there and chasing it and going for it.
And we've had COVID, that's how we couldn't do nothing, but it was all right to have the Olympics, it was all right to have the football, it was all right to have the American elections, it was all right to have COP. Have I missed anything? I'm sure I have.
Yeah. But yet we can't have an independence campaign. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think if there is going to be one, when the news is going to come out over the next 2 weeks, it might be a very, very short campaign, and the referendum might be after we're independent.
Dave, you're winding us up through here.
No.
You know, you're
it's like there is absolutely massive news coming. It's no mine to tell you, but there is massive news coming. No matter what party you support, if you get behind this, we can kick the union into touch.
Sorry, and Dave, when you were saying earlier on there that you had exciting news for us, and I was wondering if it related to anything like this. I told Alex when we get our independence or we get a date that I would drink from the quake I got from him when I was on the RT show. So I'm holding you to it, Dave.
You were an RT.
You'll need a bigger one, Wendy.
I know,
a bucket.
Oh,
keep the bottle.
She's a lightweight. Anyway, I think we're just about done. So you want to give me a wee run over about where you're standing and what you're doing, and let's get people out to vote for you.
On you go, Leanne.
My name's Leane Tervit, and I'm standing in Dunfermline Central Ward for Alba. It's where I was born, where I was brought up, and it was where I was raised my children, and we all went to school. I'm I'm going to fight to bring in the Alba 5-point poverty plan. I think with the rise in costs and fuel, people are going to need help. I want to advocate for people. I want to fight for people. I want to help people. I've done it all my life for my family and my friends, so I'm just going to extend that and do it for any constituents in my ward.
And my name's Wendy McDonald, and I'm standing in Kilmarnock North, and I want you to vote for me because I'm going to get things done. The 5-point poverty plan is brilliant, so it is for Alba. Alba is a party that does care for communities. Stayed here for 26. I'll probably stay here for another 26 if I make it that long. But I'm going to help you do the best I can to resolve any issues for you. Vote for me. Thanking you.
And I'm not standing anywhere because I've been here past vetting, but then that's why I get on so well with these people. although these councillors I'm starting to run around with now, it's really bad for my reputation. Thanks for tuning in, guys.